Hey everyone, Tony D with another hot take. What is happening to comedy? Um, PC culture, cancel culture, the woke left, whatever you want to call them, they are attacking comedy. And comedians are fighting back. And guess what? You're going to lose this fight, woke people. You're going to lose bigly. Here's the latest. It's a column in Variety from a Caroline, I can't pronounce that last name, Framack? I don't know. Caroline talks about how boring new cast member, what's his name, Sean Gillis. I have never seen Sean Gillis perform. This is the first time I've seen any Sean Gillis related article or thing. I don't know who he is. I don't know any of his comedy. Here's what she says about them. Him. Her column's called Shane Gillis's racist material isn't pushing boundaries, it's boring. The first thing I'll say about that, Caroline, is when they first attempted to attack Dave Chappelle in his recent special, they first called it incredibly racist, misogynist, homophobic. That didn't work, so then they went to this, that it's boring. So that's why I think you've taken this tact. I think you've stolen it directly from that because it's almost as if you and a lot of the entertainment medium are just one big conglomeration of minds, a hive mind, if you will. So you immediately took up the new torch. Oh, wait, we can't call him racist? That's not getting us clicks anymore? Oh, let's call him boring. So that's why I think you took this tack. To read. It only took a few hours after Saturday Night Live announced its new cast members for one of them to come under fire. As per his own podcast and YouTube videos, new hire Sean Gillis has a history of cracking racist jokes, quote, jokes about minorities that are so astonishingly nasty I won't repeat them here. It's also for nothing a particularly disturbing pattern for someone hired alongside of Bo Yang, one of the very few out-gay comedians to join the cast and the show's first full-time cast member of East Asian descent. Why does any of that matter? Is Bowen Yang funny? If he's funny, then that's all that matters. That you care about his sexual orientation and race makes you the collectivist jerk, Caroline. So high and mighty. Now, again, I've not heard one thing Sean Gillis has said. And I still haven't heard it because you, Caroline, won't even outline it in your article. Oh, I won't repeat them here. Why? Is it because you don't know how to describe things as a writer? I mean, you could say he used racial slurs, for instance. That wouldn't be something you can't publish in a Variety column. You could tell us the gist of it. You wouldn't have to tell us the actual jokes to tell us what he said that was so offensive. But you chose not to do that. And I think I know why. It's a tactic. It's a tactic to make people think he's saying racist things, more racist than if you described what the hell he said. Am I right? I think I am. So I don't know if this guy said anything that bad, but if he's on YouTube and he still has a channel, it can't be that bad. It can't be as bad as Steven Crowder. They kicked him off. It can't be as bad as a lot of people because the racists are long gone from YouTube. So now I'm positive you are exaggerating this guy's resume. And I can say that without even having seen one joke from this guy. You're just another reactionary who's looking for clickbait for her article, which unfortunately I clicked. This is a request, by the way. Somebody sent me the article. Case in point. Oh, wait. I skipped a bunch. His becoming part of Saturday Night Live, one of the most prestigious and powerful comedy gigs in television, would put him at a whole new level of visibility. I guess. I'm not sure who's really watching Saturday Night Live anymore, but I'll take your word for it. Whether Gillis likes it or not, his potential extreme elevation within the industry makes him fair game for renewed interest. Yeah? Renewed interest for what? And his material is so full of such basic racism and sexism that there's frankly no way he didn't say these things, at least in part, to get exactly this kind of extreme reaction, split as it is between horror and admiration. I don't even know what that sentence really means. It just sounds like a bunch of hyperbolic nonsense. Again, he's on YouTube, so I'm positive he's not saying the N-word. So, let's continue. Case in point is Gillis's initial response to the backlash. So now it's not even about what he said, which you won't tell us, but it's about his response. And you're upset about his response because he didn't bow down immediately and apologize. In a statement posted on Twitter, he said he would apologize to anyone who was actually offended. Fair enough. But more so that he's a comedian who pushes boundaries, and sometimes that requires risk. True. This is all hard to believe. Oh, what are you, the comedy police now? This is hard to believe, Sean. Well, and not for the reason Gillis and his vitriolic supporters crying PC police might think. Oh, so I guess you can read minds, and it's amazing how people who write these articles know so much. Are you a comedian, Caroline? Do you know the first thing about telling jokes or doing stand-up or having a podcast or doing a comedy YouTube channel? I don't think you do. I think you're just another woke journalist looking for clickbait. And it goes on and on about lowest common denominator, blah, blah, blah. Down the road, she says, spitting stereotypes into the mic, Gillis Gillis does isn't just vile, it's boring. That's total BS, in my opinion, because if this was boring, you wouldn't even be reporting on it. You're reporting on it because it's the exact kind of clickbait that has been driving internet journalism for the last 5 or 6 years. You did this for clicks and no other reason. I don't believe you're the least concerned about a comedian on SNL being a real racist. Maybe he said some edgy, spicy stuff. I don't know. I don't care. I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in years. They report more news than they do comedy these days. It's so boring to me now. The show that was the edgy show. I used to watch it as a kid. It was so outrageous and new and fun and innovative. Now, they just go regurgitate the news. They were on your side, Caroline, and now the left eats its own again. Again, you make another enemy where there's no enemy. I'm positive the only reason Sean Gillis is on Saturday Night Live is because his politics are totally in line with the rest of the politics on that show. Because they wouldn't dare hire someone, in my view, who was really, let's say, anti-woke or not PC. About Bill Maher is about as anti-PC as you are allowed in television. And they're trying to get rid of him. They are trying to get rid of him. They're trying to push him off. I mean, look at what's happening in comedy. Dave Chappelle attacked. The audience loves his show. The critics call it terrible and boring, like Carol. Naughty Dave. Naughty comedian saying naughty things. Joe Rogan podcast, most amazing podcast ever. Joe Rogan, another comedian. Guy's got more sense in his head than probably anybody in the entertainment journalism field. And journalism in quotes for me, Caroline. You've got Bill Burr, whose special I haven't seen yet, but I'm dying to watch. Also, non-PC. I mean, these guys are funny. Ricky Gervais, funny. Kevin Hart, funny. And you lament in this article, oh, how does Kevin Hart keep getting the people that, oh no. It's because he's funny. And you characterized his jokes as anti-gay. They weren't anti-gay. They were just jokes. He wasn't trying to attack gay people with his jokes. He was trying to make people laugh, and some of those people got offended. Some of those people are you. And you're probably, who knows if you're gay or not. It certainly wasn't aimed at you, even if you are, Caroline. So for you to be offended, there's so many people in the journalism industry now that get offended on behalf of all these groups. Where are the groups that get offended? Where are they? Can't they speak for themselves? I think they can. I think they can now. They could before. When gay people were being attacked back in the 80s and 70s and 80s, they had groups that would fight back. They would speak up. And they would be reported on by actual journalists. Journalists who reported news and wanted these people to have a voice. But there is no voice now. There's only a narrative. And the narrative is, you don't believe the right things, Sean Gillis, Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais, Bill Burr, Bill Maher. None of you believe the right thing. None of you say the right thing. And you offended somebody somewhere. Therefore, I'm going to write about it and call you racist and bigoted and homophobic and transphobic and all kinds of phobic. And I'm going to get clicks. And I'm going to say how outrageous it is. And I'm going to say how self-righteous and wonderful I am by implication. Right? I mean, you're just so wonderful and woke, Caroline. I mean, I'm sure you've never said anything wrong in your life, right? You get to stand on your comedic high horse and judge comedians without any experience whatsoever. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you've done stand-up. Maybe if you had, you might have mentioned it in your article. Like, when I was doing stand-up, I didn't need to say anything too spicy. You don't know what you're talking about, Caroline, in my opinion, and you should stop writing articles this clickbait nonsense. If Sean Gillis is truly racist, he won't last 10 seconds on Saturday Night Live. If Sean Gillis actually is a bad person, it'll all come out on the internet. It's probably already out all over the internet. You people in woke media won't be satisfied until everything is destroyed. But the tide is turning. And it is you who will soon find yourself without a job. Because the people in woke media have made many, many, many enemies. Many enemies. And their enemies are fighting back. And when the wheel turns and the wokeness no longer makes any money, the people closely associated with that wokeness will not be hireable anymore. And you, Caroline, will probably be one of them. So save your money. Save your money. Because I don't think you're going to be working for much longer.